Welcome back to the Maximum Chillage podcast episode. I'm not sure. With me as always,
Tiki
a sick Tiki Mike.
Oh, I'm recovering,
dude. I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick this past season. Which,
I've
me.
just recently been talking all kinds of hot shit about how I don't get sick, and the very next week I got sick. And
you get the flu? Ooh,
no.
Sounds concerning.
Yeah, it's not really that concerning at this point. It's more just that I have this tickle in my throat right now, and every time I talk, it's just aggravating it.
Honey lemon water.
I mean, this hasn't been an ongoing problem. It's a problem this minute.
This minute.
Yeah, this minute.
You're ruining the show, bro.
No, I just need to get rid of it.
You just hawked it up, man. Hawked it up.
No, it was.
So other than being sick, how have you been? How long were you sick, and how long were you down, and did you have to call out of work?
I actually did call out of work.
That's
one
good,
day.
because I don't like people who go to work sick.
Oh, I went to work sick.
I don't like heroes, man.
I went to work the next
Because
day
they get me sick.
No. Well, yeah. It's just that I picked up a shift, and I didn't want to be the guy that was going to call out on that shift.
You know, when I worked in...
Also, I mean, it was a shift that they wanted me to take, and it was in a different department, and it was... Super Bowl weekend, and I had just called in the day before. I didn't want to call 2 days in a row on Super Bowl weekend, and I just didn't want to be that guy.
So when I was working at Starbucks, people would come to work like with walking pneumonia.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And I think twice, or I still do it. When I want fast food during flu seasons, I'll think twice because I know somebody in there. Some piece of shit's going to work being a hero.
Being a hero or just being in need of the money.
That's what sucks about it. They should have better. We should provide them better.
Those jobs don't have it.
That sucks. Yeah, so people get sick and they spread it. And thank God I haven't got sick because I can't get the flu shot because I swear that thing gets me sick. It puts me down for 2 weeks, man. And one time, I'll tell you this story. One time, I went to get a flu shot at Fresno State. So they said free flu shots for students. It's like, well, it's free. I'll go do it. Walk up, sign up. They said, okay, we just see you now. Take me to the back. The girl says, this is my first shot I'm ever doing. I don't think anything about it. Just a flu shot, whatever. I was like, cool. She gives me the shot, and she's like, your arm's going to feel really heavy for like 2 hours. I was like, okay, no big deal. I come home, my arm feels heavy, whatever. 2 hours go by. Fine. 4 hours go by. I'm like, all right, well, it's all good. A day goes by. I'm like, dang, that was strong. A week goes by, and I'm a little concerned. So I go to my general practitioner. I'm like, hey, my arm's been numb for a week. He's like, what'd you do? I got a flu shot. Where? Right here. They hit a nerve. When's it going to get better? Could be today. Could be tomorrow. It could be permanent nerve damage. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I was like, well, fuck. I'm never getting one of those stupid ass things ever again, and I haven't.
Well, that's stupid, dude, because, well, no, you know what? I'm not going to say it's stupid. I'm turning in a new leaf. I'm turning over a new leaf.
Okay, what is that?
I'm not going to be a skeptic anymore and a naysayer. I've been that a lot lately.
Why, because you've never gotten one? Or you just don't get them?
No, I have gotten them. I have no strong opinion on the matter. I think generally people should get them. The whole herd immunity thing, and
you're trying to do better.
I get it.
I see you.
I'm saying like
you're trying to do better.
About
you're a negative
about
motherfucker.
I'm saying using this one. The old me would be telling you about how like you shouldn't have one situation stop you from getting flu shots for the rest of your life because there was one inexperienced person who was very inexperienced by their own admission, and
that wasn't the time to put me down for 2 weeks. That made my arm feel bad. All the other times, I just feel like I have the flu.
Well, yeah, but that's just you being a hypochondriac.
No, man, I have the flu.
No, you're a hypochondriac because you've always had cancers.
Oh, I have cancer right now.
Yeah, you always have some kind
battling
of
a cancer.
fucking irritable bowel syndromes, and
that's real.
And you have
it's like wiping a marker.
No, dude, that not even necessarily has anything to do with irritable bowel.
My IBS.
No, dude, the leaky sphincter is not an irritable bowel syndrome.
Take big shit.
It's No, man. No, that has to do with your
My diet.
Well, yeah, that could be IBS affecting it, or I don't know, man. I just, you know what? I'm just gonna say it
You're
like
just trying
this.
to try to do better.
I like what I just said. I don't know.
So we have a mutual friend who says you're turning into a hermit again. I haven't seen Michael a lot lately because I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
I worked over 50 hours last week, so I don't get to see this guy, and that's why we missed the podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
No,
I was sick anyways at some point,
But I heard a friend of ours saying you're turning into a hermit again. Michael tends to turn into a hermit every now and then. He just doesn't come out of his house.
I was out today.
Where'd you go? I saw that. You were at a record store, and you bought a weird movie.
Oh, yeah.
What was that movie? Go ahead and tell the people.
Akira.
What is it?
It's like a 90s anime movie.
Oof.
It's
weird guy.
No, man. It's like heavily influenced by Blade Runner, and it's I mean, fucking Roger Ebert gave it a thumbs up.
One?
Fucking huh?
They only gave it one thumbs up?
No, that was Roger that reviewed it. I mean, he gave his
Ebert
thumb up.
didn't give one?
Wait, it's Roger.
It's Roger.
Roger Ebert.
And Ebert.
No, that's Roper. Is it Ebert? What's his full name? Roger. It's Roger Ebert, isn't it?
I don't know. I
think it's Roger Ebert. Ebert and Roper.
Ebert and Roper, yeah.
Yeah, the other guy is Roper. Actually, back then it would have been the other guy that died. I don't remember his name. The bearded guy, the bald bearded guy. You know
he
which
had
guy
brain
I'm talking
cancer.
about? Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I think he would have been around when that movie came out. But it was heavily influential on a lot of sci-fi movies since. It was the first movie that made people take serious looks at anime as an actual piece of film rather than just like, weird Japanese cartoons. Because it's supposed, I mean, it's a great story. You know what I mean? And its use of effects is amazing, and it's actually all hand-drawn. Yeah, and it's just a different medium. Oh, man, I'm dying. But, yeah, no, I found that it was like $5.95, and it was on a Pioneer edition, which, Pioneer, the sound company, I guess they didn't produce a lot of that. They just ended up selling the rights to Bandai. To start, Bandai. They even did all the Power Rangers shit.
Yeah, they
distributed all the Power Rangers.
Toys
and all that. Yeah, so they ended up selling all the rights to Bandai, and Bandai currently owns the rights to the movie.
Cool.
But, yeah, man.
I saw a pretty cool documentary about toys on
the toys
the Star Wars one.
With.
Yeah,
I only watched the Star Wars one.
I didn't like the other ones either. I watched the Barbie one a little bit.
Oh yeah,
it was like whatever. The Star Wars one was crazy fascinating. How nobody wanted the rights to the toys because it was too much of a liability.
Yeah,
and the small Ohio company was like, "Well, fuck, we'll do it," and they made fucking shit tons of money.
Man. I can't think of his name.
Have you ever seen any of those toys in person, like at a thrift store, or
the
originals that are like worth a lot of money?
Well, no, a lot of the originals that are not worth a lot of money because they're in like pretty poor condition, and I mean. I've seen a lot of those. We have a mutual friend that used to have a great collection
at that
of
time,
things.
I didn't know.
Yeah, same.
I wonder if he had a lot of that shit.
Oh, he did. I can recognize a lot of things that were in that documentary that he had, and he doesn't even know what happened to it. Like, either his mom has it in storage somewhere, or she did just give it away like he wanted.
That fucking sucks.
And no, well, he wanted it that way.
Idiot.
He wanted it just to be gone and out of his hair, and like he didn't want to individually price things and sell things and do that. Like,
just put it away
until
you need
hassle. When would you need that? It would be a hassle to even hold. It's like dead weight. I understand it. It's a hoarding situation.
Not when it's a collectible, man. You don't believe in collectibles?
Do you see how many collectibles were in that house?
It was a whole house.
There was a whole house.
He owned an entire house full of collectibles. I shit you not. It was an entire
pictures of the house.
It was
were
an
collectible.
Entire estate full of collectibles.
The estate itself
was a collectible.
In fact, I think they did sell pieces of it. Now, I'm not going to name the person, but we will say
their house looked like a mini Disneyland, I guess, or a
mini little fucking amusement
course.
park.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a Statue of Liberty, it had a Big Ben,
it had a clock that was built into the grass.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. It had a working train that went through the whole grounds.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. I mean, that would have been fucking dope as a grandkid.
Did he ever tell you the story about that house?
I don't.
Did he tell you the bird story?
That's probably all personal stuff. I don't
think it was personal.
What?
This one was a bunch of bird. He had a bird cage. He had a bird terrarium or a bear, like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And he said, I said, well, was this full of birds at one time? And he wasn't a guy to like make things up. I don't think he had it in him.
Yeah.
To think of on the spot like that. And I said, was there a bunch of birds in here at one time? He said, yeah, there was. But they all died. And I was like, oh, okay. At once. What? He's like, one time, we were just inside and we just stopped hearing the birds and we come outside and they were all dead at once. And that's a true story. So he's not quick enough. You know how we say that there's people that are fast and there's people that are slow? He was right in the middle.
I bet you it was a summer and they just didn't have water out there. I swear that's probably what it was. They just died of dehydration.
Poor birds. Oh, I'm actually coming up on a parrot.
A parrot?
A whole parrot. Why
would you want one?
I just want one.
Why?
Somebody's
going to keep it in your room?
Yeah. A full parrot.
It's going to smell.
Yeah.
It's going to annoy you, dude.
Nah, I like birds. Always have. My grandma had a bird growing up. I know how annoying they are.
Oh, man.
I love them. You don't like birds?
I like hanging around them for like 10 minutes.
You wouldn't own a parrot if you could.
No. Someone had a parrot, and they were like, hey, it really needs a home. I'd be like...
I saw a guy walking with a cat on his shoulder like it was a parrot.
I'd be like, hey, call Chuy. He likes birds.
It's true.
I've seen that guy. I think every town has one. They're a crust punk with a open backpack that has a cat that just roams up and down.
So this weekend you said you wanted to call out because it was Super Bowl, but you didn't, blah, blah, blah. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you work during Super Bowl?
I worked during Super Bowl.
Did anybody show up to work?
Yeah.
Not like the workers. Like, were there people buying things?
Oh, all kinds until about 3:30, a little
and then
bit after
nobody was there?
It tapered off. There were still people coming in.
Like how many people?
I don't know, man.
I remember working at Starbucks and nobody came in.
Well, yeah, I'm
like
sure
one or two
at
people.
Places like that, but I mean, it's a small Starbucks versus like a giant warehouse. I mean, people are gonna be buying fucking toilet paper because it's a necessity.
Did you have a preference as to who was going to win?
I wanted the Eagles to win because, they hadn't won, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times has Boston won in my life, I
don't really think of them as Boston, but you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they're kind of like the Yankees when I was growing up, like, I don't need to see that team win again, so I just, I'm dying. Yeah, so I was glad with the result. It seems like it was a cool game. I'm glad that it wasn't
it was a good
a blowout.
Game. The whole game was interesting.
I constantly had updates from customers on scores, so whether I asked for it or not, I had updates. So, I feel like they felt like it was their duty to tell me.
They felt bad for you.
Yeah. That was a reoccurring theme throughout the day.
They're like, this guy with this big ass beard looks like he's
probably
a manly man.
Missing his barbecue, missing his, all that shit.
So I was told that we were going to a Super Bowl party, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Super Bowl party. We're going to watch it, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't told that at this Super Bowl party I needed to help cut down a tree. So
I saw that.
I assisted in cutting down a good amount of a tree on Super Bowl weekend where I thought I was just going to chill. I wanted to be like Charlie Day where I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get drunk and you're going to leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. But they were like, could you help us cut down this tree? I was like, I've never done that kind of shit before. I'm from the city. As small as the city is.
You just got to pull, man. You just got to pull.
Then they were like, do you want to get on this? You want to get on this ladder with the chainsaw? Because I'm tired. And I was like, no. No, I don't. That's not something I aspire to ever do.
Dude, you could handle a chainsaw.
No, I don't. I've never done one. I don't. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you didn't cut your leg off?
No, man.
I've heard those horror stories about the chains
12.
jumping, man.
Hey, man, I saw this report recently on kids that are constantly used by their family, as a regular thing, just growing up on farms and stuff and having them used as laborers or using heavy machinery and how many accidents are done. And you're right, dude. Fucking tons of deaths. I wasn't aware of how many kids in the Midwest are fucking in the cornfields operating heavy machinery at ages like 6 and fucking running over their brothers and shit. Like, that's just a regular way of life for them. And they're like, well, I don't want the regulations to come in because it's going to cost me money. It's like, well, it cost you your son already. I mean, fuck, dude. So maybe you're right, dude. Maybe you shouldn't get up there with that.
No, man, I don't see myself.
I didn't
being
think anything of it because
I
wasn't skilled either. I mean, nobody's skilled at anything until they start doing it. But I was probably like in middle school. I don't know, like 12 when someone handed me a chainsaw to like take branches off, and so like, yeah, I mean, nobody's skilled until they just say, "Hey, do this."
No,
nobody.
So it's not a skill that I wish to attain. I don't want to put that on my LinkedIn. Chainsaw skills. Somebody will endorse me for that.
Well, nah, it's a skill, so you don't have to pay someone else to do it.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how. I know that the tree services are very expensive.
Oh, they
All
are,
those fucking
dude.
services
Those
are expensive, man.
Yeah. Tree removal? Fuck, dude. I mean, any size at all, it's probably going to be like $300.
Fuck.
Oh, I ain't fucking with that, dude. Some of that's probably worth it, though, digging out the root.
So it's February.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl just happened, like we just discussed, and the Eagles won. Congratulations to the Eagles. Now, that sets the stage for the real sporting event that's about to happen, the Winter Olympics. Are you a fan of the Winter Olympics? Is there a certain sport that you like to watch, or do you not like them at all?
I've never been big on the Winter Olympics.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Those are the Olympics to me.
No, I'd rather watch the Summer Olympics.
What do you watch during summer?
It's a bunch of shit, dude.
I just know there's a bunch of shit, but what catches your eye?
All kinds of shit, man.
Swimming? I don't like it.
Oh, the swimming's actually pretty interesting. A lot of the races or the dives are pretty interesting.
Not interesting.
Some of the running ones, not so much the marathons, but the sprinting is pretty interesting to me. There's always fucking volleyball, tennis, fucking basketball. I mean, there's all kinds of shit.
Nothing gets me going like the winter Olympics.
There's hockey.
I'm not even hockey. Like we're not even talking
what
about.
Else? What else?
I like figure skating. I like luge. I like skeleton.
Luge.
Yeah. I like snowboarding. I like the big
snowboarding,
the big jump that they like, the big air. I think they call it like God, I don't even know what it's called. It's a dumbass name.
I do remember liking the skiers doing that shit too.
The skiers, there's like freestyle skiing that are doing things like snowboarders are doing.
Yeah,
it's pretty intense, and I really like it. I like the half pipe snowboard. I like that Shaun White's coming back for the 100,000th time.
Damn, dude, how old is Shaun White now?
Very old, and he's coming back because the last Winter Olympics he shit the bed, and he didn't place at all. So this is like his, I don't know if it'll be his last hurrah.
Trying to get back that Mountain Dew. Trying to get back that Mountain Dew sponsorship.
Maybe. I don't know if this will be his last
Mountain
hurrah.
Dew
but
for all of your cool, refreshing needs.
Dude, Mountain Dew is actually really good.
If Mountain Dew wants to sponsor the Maximum Chillage podcast, it is our drink of choice.
Speaking of the Maximum Chillage podcast, I'll get back to the Winter Olympics right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people got back to us on our request about what they want to hear. And a lot of them say that they liked the stories, but they also liked us. So they didn't really help me at all.
Okay.
And I got a person contacting me.
Does that mean to say do what we're doing?
Do what we're doing.
Do what we're doing.
I even got a person contacting me via LinkedIn while I was trying to do some business.
Oh, yeah?
And they said, they put me in the right direction where I needed to go. And then they said, by the way, keep doing the weekly podcast. And I was like, will do, sir. I'll tell you after who.
Oh, for sure.
Who it was. I don't know if they want to be dropped on the Maximum Chillage. It might hurt their reputation to be dropped. You don't want your name dropped on here. This is not a forum for that. But yeah, so let's get back to the Winter Olympics. I love them. Of course, I'm a big hockey fan, so hockey is appealing to me. This year, though, the big draw to hockey isn't actually like for me, it's always the NHLers that go. That I get to watch. NHL wasn't allowed to play by the NHL. What's cool is that what I want to see is the Korean hockey team because North and South Korea are going to be together. I'm almost willing to watch that them whatever fucking game they're gonna play.
It's all a conspiracy. That's not even real North Korean. I bet you wouldn't even know the difference, would you?
Whoa.
Well, would you? They're the same. They're the same country.
Whoa!
That's not even something offensive to say. I'm saying that they're the same country.
If you took that offensive, comment below.
Please do. I would like to have a debate of how that would be offensive.
So, the Winter Olympics, the amount of sex that are happening at the Winter Olympics will blow your mind. Have you ever heard about this?
Yeah, the Olympic Village is always just
It's
a
a
party
brothel.
central. Yeah. Whether it's actual Olympians just going at it or just like inviting people to Olympic Village. But yeah, man, I've always heard about Olympic Village being...
I only heard about this last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So an article on Maxim...
It's the whole point of
the Olympics?
of trying to be an Olympian.
is to go to the great romp.
Is to be a hard body, trying to find other hard bodies. And being hard bodies together... That's what the Winter Olympics, or not the Winter Olympics, all Olympians strive to be.
As the 2018 Winter Olympics kick off in just a few days in Pyongyang, South Korea, it would appear as though that the competing athletes are doing a lot more than just walking in the ass crack of dawn. That's what it says. To do 500. I was like, what is that word? Is that ass crack? It's a Maxim article. The ass crack of dawn to do 500 crunches and practice snowboarding or something. They're having tons of sex. And then when I say tons, I mean insane amounts. Apparently, South Korean condom manufacturer Convenience Co. is donating 100,000 condoms for the athletes to breeze through, and the Korean Association for AIDS Prevention is donating 10,000 for a grand total of 110,000 condoms. And with over just 2,000 athletes attending the games, that would be enough for each person to have 50 Olympic marathons, give or take a couple quickies. But considering not everyone uses condoms, it's safe to assume that the amount of sex the Olympians are having is probably more in the 110,000 condoms worth, especially when you remember that athletes in 2012 London Games breezed through an entire supply of 100,000 condoms in the first week. That's crazy. That's wild.
You know, an Olympian body having a marathon of endurance, and I get it. You know, it makes sense. You know. They're Olympians, Chuy. They're demigods amongst us, and they can do what they want. And I wish people would just stop judging them.
People will trade their medals for sex.
Dang, that's weird.
After working their entire lives to earn gold, two German bobsledders were willing to trade their medals for some group sex with skier Carney Schenberg.
Okay, this isn't
one time.
This isn't a good example because they're Germans, and Germans are generally known to be deviant in pervasive in their sexual desires and needs. And so, you know, you can't judge all of the Olympians based on a couple of bobsledders.
The plane ride home is just as crazy as the village.
Oh yeah, dude, it's last hurrah.
Last hurrah. What? Yeah, man. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. So I like to think of them as wholesome people that I'm watching on NBC.
No, I would think that a lot of them would try to be, you know, kind of like the boxer thing, you know, withholding.
It does say there are some that will wait until their event is over, and there actually is in this article. It tells you which ones will abstain and which ones will go right at it.
Based on sport?
Yeah, based on sport.
Really?
Swimmers say yes. Rowers and equestrians say no. According to one Olympian, swimmers...
Equestrians?
Swimmers,
Weird.
track athletes, beach volleyball players, and gymnasts are some of the most sexually active and eager athletes in the games. Rowers and equestrian athletes, on the other hand, are not as likely to get down to it because, let's see why.
I mean, I get the rowing thing. I mean, at least on a mental status. I mean, honestly, it probably has nothing to do with their performance. But I could get why an athlete that's rowing would be like, oh no, I must withhold. You know, I don't know, somehow mentally prepping them to keep focus. I don't see how the equestrians need it. They don't need to be physical at all, really. I don't even think they're fucking athletes. They sit on a horse. You know, the horse is the athlete. The horse is whoever trained the horse is the one that should get the medal.
Team USA gets down and flirty. In general, according to some athletes, Team USA is the flirtiest of the groups of Olympians. And from outright propositioning other athletes to hook up, Team USA seemingly likes to go for gold in on the field and in the bedroom. And I kind of see that.
No, that makes sense because it's the USA and they're coming from the US, and there's probably all this entitlement about us running the world, or this idea of us running the world. So I could see why a lot of Olympians here would have the confidence to just start, hitting up other athletes from other countries.
Definitely, I'm pumped for watching the games, to play a little game myself, to see. I wonder if that athlete has had sex yet in the games, and I'm actually I'll play that. You can play that alone home with yourself. Just wondering. Do you have anything to bring to the table this week? I give 2 weeks to think of something. I hope.
I don't know.
I know that.
To bring to the
I
table.
know that you do.
You know what I did today? Other than Rasputin,
What was that?
I went to the second opening of More Than Pizza.
Where's that?
They have
I heard about that.
It's that weird area of Fresno that we're never in. You remember on Bullard, kind of near all those nice houses near Van Ness?
Yeah.
You know where the Van Ness loops into Bullard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that area. It's next door to G's Creamery.
So you went to the grand opening of a pizzeria?
Well, no, it wasn't grand opening. The grand opening happened like last week, and they had a Firestone takeover, and it was actually I had
milk
a couple.
Stout? Is that what it was?
No, they didn't have the milk stout. They had a Firestone takeover. There's a couple different beers that they had on tap today. I had the unfiltered DBA, which is a rare keg. They only have so many. I think he said that they usually only have like 2 kegs in the valley at a time. They have one which was almost done, and actually the son of the place gave me a free beer of that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's giving me free beer every now and then, which is pretty cool.
This is the Indian pizza place?
No, not the Indian pizza place.
my bad.
More Than Pizza.
Well, you said it was a new location, so I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
new location
And the
of
same
More
people.
Than Pizza.
They were there, though, the regular same people.
Well, yeah, it's an independent pizza place.
Okay.
They're not like a chain. This is their second location.
Is it nicer than the first one?
Oh yeah.
I would be.
I mean,
more...
it's in a ritzy area.
Mike and I go to this place called More Than Pizza. If you're not from the area, then you won't know what it is. But it's a pizza place that has really good cheese bread. And I won't say that they have good pizza because I don't really like it.
It's really good pizza.
The cheese bread's actually really good.
And the pizza's really good.
It's not that good.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's not that good.
You're
Cheese bread's
a huge
good,
fan
though.
of Little Caesars.
I'm not a huge fan of Little Caesars at
I
all.
feel like you've mentioned Little Caesars a lot.
I
In a
mean,
positive light.
I asked you to pick it up because I know you'll pick it up. I know you'll get it. But no, I'm not a huge fan of Little Caesars.
Oh no, man! I don't know about your pizza. I don't know about your pizza in general.
I like me and Ed's.
Yeah, I like me and Ed's.
We agree on that. I know
Yeah,
it's
we
not your
agree on
number
that
one
one.
there. Speaking of beer, I work with a guy who is a beer expert, and I don't use that. I'm not using that lightly. He's actually trained. There's only how there's wine, whatever they are. What are they called?
Yeah. Chaffaro.
Are they Sauvignon? No, or
Sauvignon's just
is
a type of wine. Chaffaro,
let's just-
Cheffaros,
whatever.
Cheffaros. I
There's
don't
a lot of
remember
them.
if that's the beer or the wine one, but yeah.
He's training to be the beer one, which there's only 9 of in the United States, and he has already passed the first level of it.
This is a
Like the highest
ranking
level
of it.
There's a whole ranking that you can be. There's only 9 of the top for beer experts. He's still at level 2, bro, but he's still above level 1. There's tests you have to take to get to pay for these tests.
Oh yeah.
He used to work for House of Pendragon, doing their
okay.
distributing for a long time, until he needed to move on because they were so small and he had a baby. He needed to do bigger things to make more money. And another thing is kind of like people get different jobs for insurance reasons and that kind of stuff. But he loves beer, and he knows so much about it. And I went and grabbed a beer with him the other day, and this fool just like, you can tell that he knows a shit ton about it. Like, there's people who are like, oh yeah, I like beer. And I was like, they just like a certain type.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes above and beyond and is like, oh, I know this. And he's not a Nazi about it. He's just a nice guy. And he actually, because he was a distributor, knows a lot of the beer owners, the bar owners, and he says that he might be able to get the Maximum Chillage podcast to be able to be in Spokeasy on like a Wednesday night because he knows the bar owner.
Bruh, I know the guy, man.
Is he gonna let you do it?
Yeah, dude, they're hella chill. Those bar guys are hella chill. I think they would totally let us be in the room anyways.
So is that something that you would want to do?
Sure, man. I fucking like Spokeasy. I back in the day, I wasn't so sure about Spoke, but I'm gonna say as far as craft beer goes, and it's actually not as expensive as some of the other craft beer locations. Goldstein's is a nice location if you want to see a lot of people, and there are more beers on tap, but you're also going to be paying $7.50, $8 a beer. And although some of the Spokeasy beers do range into the $7 area too, a lot of them are just $5, $4 to $6 a beer. And I'm going to say that for craft beer, that's not that bad. And it's also a chiller vibe. One of the bartenders is like a lo-fi rapper, and he usually has like really cool lo-fi rap in the background. Even if it's just beats. Yeah, Spokey's pretty chill, man. I like that place. We should go there. We should do it.
I had an IPA the other day that I actually really liked.
Yeah,
I think I liked citrus IPAs.
Was it a juicy IPA like a northeastern?
No, I think it was from.
I mean, I've had citrus IPAs that are
Sequoia.
not.
So whatever they have. I was at Toyota Sequoia Brewery, and it was a citrusy IPA. Okay. I didn't mind at all. And I don't like New Belgium Citradella too much, but I don't mind it.
I don't know that one at all.
It's not that great, but it's okay. And it's better than a regular IPA. But this one was really citrusy. And I liked it a lot. So I got to retract my statement that I made on this podcast before that I don't like
I know,
IPAs.
Dude. It's another thing that I've told
you. It's citrus IPAs that I like. I straight up don't like IPAs that are regular.
That I've told you that you need to come around to. Eventually,
I don't like the other ones.
I know you don't now. Eventually, you will.
No.
I saw you had a black IPA the other day. Didn't you have a black IPA from House of Pendragon or something?
It was the Campfire. Is that an IPA? That's a
stout.
stout.
No. It wasn't House of Pendragon.
No,
for some reason,
it was House of Pendragon. I had Campfire Stout. They have it on tap.
Campfire Stout. Oh, okay.
We've had it on this podcast.
I just assumed you had. I forget what it's called. The actual name of the beer.
Oh, it wasn't a Pendragon beer. No.
Oh, I thought you had one of their.
No, I saw Campfire was on their menu.
Yeah, Campfire is from Tioga Sequoia, I believe.
No,
isn't Campfire?
No, it's like
a stout from Tioga Sequoia.
No, you're thinking of. God.
I know they have Midnight Mocha and a Midnight Lightning.
No. You're thinking of my favorite, Sugar Pine Porter.
No, I know Sugar Pine Porter.
That's delicious as well.
That is my favorite beer from Tioga Sequoia. I used to think Tamarack which is just a regular German lager. But no, it's the fucking Sugar Pine Porter. But hey, so what do you think about that? Are we gonna start bringing back some beer to this podcast?
I think so, man. I need to relax, bro. I come back from work beat. I work in these long ass
chills, dude.
Working these long ass hours.
You still have this. In fact, there's growing dust on this Torpedo IPA.
I didn't like it.
It's a tropical one. Well, it was also not cold when we tried it. Yeah, so you have a fridge here.
That's true.
You can put that in there at any point and just try it. Chuy, I don't like all the beers that I try. I just try beers and then I'm like, you know what? Bro. But you tried it warm. You can. It's not the same thing. It's.
So this is something that came out today.
Yeah. What's that?
And I don't. Let's not completely bash it. Let's just appreciate it for what it is.
I'm turning over a new leaf, man. I'm not going to be bashing things as much as I used to.
A White House official confirms.
Oh, dude,
hold on.
I don't want to.
That President Trump.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Does indeed.
I want to hear it.
Want a military parade to flex its military muscles.
Okay, I'm moving past this one.
You don't like that one?
I'm not a
like a North Korea-esque fucking thing.
I am not a cynic, Chuy, and I'm gonna turn over a new leaf, man. It's just you can only go so long, carrying all that baggage that I've been carrying, Chuy. Trying to unload, man. I'm trying to have a couple beers, chill with some homies.
Did you have a beer today?
I did have. I told you I had beers today. You're not even listening to me.
No, because
anymore.
I'm seeing that something's happening on Snapchat.
Dude,
PSA, do not update your Snapchat, and it hasn't been updated yet. Go to your settings and turn off automatic updates for apps. Retweet to stay to life. People are not liking the Snapchat update. I'm looking for things to talk about because you don't want to talk about what I'm talking about.
Oh, we're talking. We haven't had a lull. You're just... I don't want to talk about the
So I'm looking for something else to talk about.
Well, we were already talking. I don't see what you're talking about anymore. Oh, yeah, man.
Dude. Get that checked out.
Know what? No, dude, it's clearing out. It is almost done. Like, there's no pain anymore. Like, my pain left 3 days ago. Well, not 3 days ago, like yesterday. Yeah, man, it was rough, dude. I had constant pressure in my head where there was a point, Chuy, where I was like...
You don't go to the doctor. I don't know how you're not dead.
Yeah, no, there was this point where I was driving home and I was like...
When this fool gets sick, he looks like he has the suds.
I heard this sound, right? And I was like, what was that? Was that a missile? Like, I was out of it, dude. I was dehydrated. I was like fucking tired, and I hadn't slept, and I was done with the day, and I was driving home, and I was just like, I don't know what that was. And I was like, whatever. Like, that was my response in my head, was like, when I first said, is that a missile? And that was like a real like thought I had at that moment. I probably shouldn't have even been driving. I should have been getting
fever?
Yeah, probably. I kept on feeling my forehead, feeling it's so hot. You remember Pedro in fucking Vote for Pedro? What was that fucking
I don't know.
movie?
I have his pop up there. And, I'm reading it. It's Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. Remember when Pedro gets all hot and bothered and goes home and he's just sitting there all sweaty? That's how I looked, dude. My hair all weird, just all sweaty.
After taking my flu shot.
And I was just there, dehydrated. I probably shouldn't have been driving. I probably should have had a Pedialyte or something, get some electrolytes back in me. And I was trying to make it back home just so I could just go to sleep. And I literally had a thought of like, it was just like a jet that was starting to go over and starting to break sound barrier or whatever. And it just made this massive sound. I was like, what was that? And I was just like, whatever. And that was my thought. And I was ready, Chuy. My soul and body was done with caring or about whether I'm prepared for death. It was just like, whatever, if that's what it is, that's what it is.
One time I was having like after taking my flu shot, obviously, I was having a hallucination that I had saved, I had completely solved the drought in California in my dream. I completely, and I remember saying it out loud, and the person was like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, God, I forget what I said, but I was like, water for jobs. And that's why I don't get a flu shot anymore.
Maybe I just believe in the flu shot for everybody else. Is that hypocritical of me? Does that say
so they don't get you sick?
Yeah, does that say something about me if I'm like refusing to get the flu shot, but I believe in herd immunity and I want the general population to get the flu shot? I just don't really care to have it myself. Does that make me a selfish person, Chuy?
Yeah, kind of.
I think it does, right?
That's like a known thing about you.
Sacrificing. Am I selfish?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh man, dude, I gotta rethink some things. That's why I'm trying to unburden myself, dude.
That's why you're trying to be
like,
better.
Not bash things right away, And I'm so quick to judge. I think.
So I use my phone a lot during work, right?
Yeah.
And
I know it, dude. You used to call me all the time.
Well, now I use it
back
for
in
like
his old
LinkedIn
job.
and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So now I have Messenger on my phone, Facebook Messenger. I hate that app, but I use it because I sometimes you need to get a hold of people that you don't have their number and you don't really want to ask for their number. Like I just sold tickets to somebody who I sell season tickets for my job, and I just sold them to somebody that don't have their phone number. So I do have them on Facebook though. So I was like, well, I'll just hit them up on Messenger, whatever. So I get a message today, and it's from my cousin, and he periodically sends me messages, but I don't look at them. I'm like, oh, it's probably a scam. Which these are probably a scam too. So I open it at work, and that's the message that he sends me.
Whoa!
So my cousin's just sending me porno videos that I think if I tap them, they're gonna give my phone a phone virus.
No,
should I do it online?
No,
should I do it right now?
I'm sure it's I'm sure they're jokes where it's gonna be like Elmo popping out.
Should I do it right now?
I guess if you want. You can kind of hear the audio picking up.
So a girl is
doing
stuff.
Well,
I won't say it.
No, yeah, let's just.
I think
say
he just
things
straight up
are happening.
He just straight up sent me porno.
God.
Oh,
he did just straight send you porno. Why, dude? What's wrong with your cousin, man?
Oh, he's weird.
What does he do? Why? I thought these were jokes for a second. I thought this was just one of those ones where all of a sudden Elmo pops out of nowhere and or someone says, "Well, what are you doing?"
This does captivate you, so maybe there'll be that person who comes out and scares you.
No, you just okay. Well, this podcast has gone in poor taste. And
we haven't seen anything.
We're just talking about how we're watching porn, dude. I don't know.
Just two bros watching porn, bro.
I mean,
I'll watch that later.
Okay, all right.
I was afraid to watch it by myself. Just one of those things, you know. Sometimes you can't watch a movie by yourself because you're scared. Sometimes you can't watch a porno by yourself because you're scared. Because if somebody were to say, "Were you watching the porno or something?" Like, I was watching with my social experiment.
It was for the podcast.
For the podcast, man.
You know, the viewers wanted to know what's going on. Speaking of social media stuff, what do you think about that new update on Instagram where you can now see through your DMs, people that you've DM'd, when the last time they were active? I don't know if you're aware of that.
I'm not aware of this at all.
Oh, I don't like it at all, dude. It's been like that for like 3 weeks. It'll show, like, if I've DM'd you and, you know, our conversation's done or whatever, or I was the last one to send the message, it'll show me
in a
when
different
you've
screen?
been, no, it'll show right under it on that DM thing. It'll show you last active 42 minutes ago, last active a day ago.
It's Snapchat.
Huh?
Snapchat tells you when they're active on the map.
Well, but a lot of people hide that.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people on it.
I just don't like it, man. I don't want people knowing how often I'm checking up on memes.
Yeah.
Or what if I'm ignoring something, you know?
So shout out to Solo569. That's I think that's the Solarios.
Drunk fantasy sportscast.
A fan of ours who have DM'd us before.
Guys, I'm really looking forward. I see all these teasers on Instagram on the podcast. I still don't know how to get to your podcast. I'm trying to figure it out.
They were active an hour ago.
Active on what?
On their Instagram that they DM'd us on.
Do they have an Instagram? I don't have access to our Instagram, so I don't know what's going on with it.
I mean, you should know it's Jesse Solorio.
Oh, I don't. You had I had a password, and then you changed the password.
Well, because we had a lot of personnel changes on here,
and I
that had
no. You changed the password after that too. I don't have access.
I'm sorry about that.
No, I don't.
We'll get you access.
I don't care to have access. I'm just saying. I don't know. Do they have an Instagram?
No, it's just Jesse.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I clicked. I clicked on the link to your podcast. I'm just trying to get to know other podcasters in this area. It is not a working link. I would like to hear this.
Back
podcast.
when I didn't have a real job, I started a community for Fresno podcasters that I never added anybody on. So there's a floating page on Facebook for Central Valley podcasters that I would love to get going, so I can see who all the Central Valley podcasters are.
You could give me access to that one. I'll take my free time on that.
Will
one.
you?
Why not?
Why don't you take your free time on this one too?
Well, because I don't have access to it.
Well, I'll contact HR. And they'll work on getting you a password for that. It's a whole process.
I imagine HR is this Fresno Tacos bobblehead.
Is that pretty sick, dude?
It's a pretty
The
sick.
person who got fired at my job gave me this.
Like on his way out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, he knew he was on his way out. And I was like, what about those bobbleheads, though? I don't think he wanted to walk out with them. So he's like, hey, you did have them. So I have this taco. I got this taco truck guy. It is Tony Kemp of the Fresno Tacos. And I also got Madison Bowner arm wrestling the Fresno Grizzly.
That one's pretty solid, too, man.
I have a pretty solid bobblehead collection growing here. I have Marshawn Lynch in a Sharks jersey. I think that one's pretty cool. I like bobbleheads, and I think that my girlfriend thinks they're ridiculous. She's not a fan of the growing bobblehead collection.
Well, didn't she get you that one?
Which one?
I don't know. I assumed that for some reason this Homer Simpson one was.
That's from my sister, and it's not
It's
a bobblehead.
not a bobblehead?
No.
Oh, I just assumed it was
It's
a
just
bobblehead.
a vinyl toy.
Oh, it's just a oh, I thought it was. That's cool. I thought this was a Buddha Simpson bobblehead.
No, it's just a Buddha vinyl toy.
Doesn't it look like his head's about to tilt?
Yeah, I like vinyl toys too, but I'm not a collector of them. But yeah, I don't think she's a fan of my ever-growing sports memorabilia collection.
Well, I think that's why they had the invention of the man cave.
To get your shit away from everybody.
Yes, to get your shit. Either because you don't want people breaking your shit, or
are you not a fan of
they don't want. I like bobbleheads. I just I don't have any. Remember my King Tut bobblehead
in your car?
Yeah, he was a fixture on my dashboard.
And you'd ask him you'd ask him permission to do things.
Yeah, that was my guy of whether I should do something. It was not just permission to do things. It was the life coach. It was like, hey, King Tut, what do you think? Should we go to the party? And I'd tap his bobblehead, and if it shook no or nodded yes, depending on how it was, hit, I would go yes or no.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And that guy made some wise choices for me at that time. So he didn't always make choices for me. Actually, I think my life started going AWOL when he got broken.
So is this a 2018 thing where you're trying to do right, or is this just a personal preference?
Again, remember, we talked about that during the resolutions. I don't believe in setting resolutions based on the new year. I think if you're going to do something, you just start doing it, whether it's, middle of the year or...
Let it be known that Michael's trying to light a quarter on fire.
Well, not light it on fire. It won't catch fire. I just want to see how long it'll take before this end is warm, too. You see what I mean?
Bad idea. Was it that long? Or that
short? It was a little long. That's a long time. Here.
I don't want to touch that. Please
it's not hot. It's not that hot.
God,
it's warm. It's not hot.
Oh, it feels good.
It feels good, right?
It feels good.
You get a couple of those.
Quarter
you put it on your back.
Dude, I've been
I'm just going to start fucking charging hella money
day I
on
had a
this.
Charlie horse lasting 3 hours.
Yeah, dude.
It's that goddamn weather change. Speaking of the weather, it's a cliche thing to talk about, but it's February and it's 76 degrees, man.
That's just our area. Part of the country is still frozen, right?
Yeah.
It
was -4 in Minnesota during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's just.
I don't like it. I'm not a fan.
I guess I probably wouldn't be a fan of -4.
Well, I don't know if I would or not because I'm not there.
You know what? I don't think I'd have that big of a deal of it.
I wouldn't like it.
Nah, man, it wasn't even snowing, man. It was just cold.
My nose hurts when it's cold.
Oh, dude, but
and it
you
doesn't
would
even
be
get that cold
inside
here.
most of the time.
Well, I gotta go to work, dude. I would definitely, if I were to move there, and they'd be like, "You gotta get to work," I'd be like, "How?" The road is frozen. I don't know how those people continue their lives. I'm not gonna drive my car when it's frozen. That's ridiculous.
Dude, I'm sure they have snow days for work.
I would, if you're from the East Coast, because I know that we have 0.2% of listeners from the East Coast. Let us know what happens when it snows hella, or the roads are frozen. I talked to somebody who was actually from New England not too long ago. Actually, I really don't know where they're from. They went to Rutgers. Where is that?
I don't know.
I don't know where that is.
I don't know where Rutgers is. I just read about it in Rutgers. I don't know.
They went to Rutgers as their college, and they actually got in trouble.
Scandal
for not going to class when the road was frozen. And they were like, "Well, the fucking road's frozen." They're like, "Yeah, but you still have to get to class." So I think
I'm sure there were alternate routes.
I don't know, man.
I'm sure there was public transportation.
I wouldn't want to do it.
It was a choice, Chuy.
Okay, so if you were given the choice, get out of here, but you have to go to a place where it's -4 during the winter, and hot and humid during the summer.
Hot and humid during the summer.
Hot and humid during the summer.
Nah, dude, I don't like
-4 in the winter.
Yeah, I think I would rather, even though I hate the heat here in the summer, I'd rather deal with the just biting heat rather than fucking moist, can't breathe humidity. Don't want to do it.
76 today, 75 tomorrow, 74, and then it goes back to the 60s, but in the high 60s. And then next week it goes back to 73, 72. It's bad, dude, because usually during the winter, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I can hide all this girth with these sweaters. It's starting to go away faster than it's supposed to. I'm always like, yeah, 3 months, I could lose 10 pounds. I'll lose 10 pounds in 3 months. I just got to start now. And it's like, 10 pounds in 2 months, I can still do it. Just got to start now.
You can do 10 pounds in 3 days. It's not healthy, but you could do it, man.
Yeah,
you could do it in 2 days, man.
All water weight.
Yeah, well,
I'm getting a Charlie horse thinking about whatever I have to do. I'm low in potassium.
Yeah, man. You just need electrolytes. I don't know why you drink Gatorade a lot.
I haven't been drinking Gatorade.
It is.
You know what I've been drinking a lot of?
No,
a lot of Red Bulls.
Why, dude?
I have long days, dude.
It's in your head that the Red Bull is helping you.
Yeah. I just don't like coffee.
Oh, man, dude. You know what you're doing to your heart, man?
It's more my kidneys that I'm doing it to.
The kidneys, too, yes. Yeah. And the heart, man.
Yeah.
Show.
I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time.
You know,
I like this new Michael. I like this do better, Michael.
You know, it's just, you know, I don't know if this new Michael is just me or if I'm just tired today. But I think
you got a long day of going to Rasputin in the pizza shop.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, but that's tiring business, dude. You know, it's just, you know.
You have a day off tomorrow?
No.
When's your next day off?
I don't know. Monday.
Dang.
Monday, yeah.
This is literally the only day you could do this.
This was the only day I have off this week.
I work forward,
6 days
is it Tuesdays? Is that the day? So I could just know.
I have no idea. Mondays and Tuesdays have been my days off, except I worked yesterday, even though I was scheduled off. I don't know. I don't know. Mondays and Tuesdays look like the most common day that I have off now. But that's also not a constant. I don't know, Chuy.
You know what's been sucking about working a lot?
What's that?
I can't get a haircut from my barber.
No, that's true.
I don't have hours to wait.
Yeah.
Not knocking my barber at all. I love my barber, but
you can make the appointment
for $20, dude.
It's $5 more than you usually pay.
I still leave the $5 tip, so it turns to $25.
You don't have to. They actually don't expect it.
They don't?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Did you ask?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll explain why. I'll explain. Okay, well, basically, I get the $15 haircut. You know, let's just sit there and wait,
and I leave $20.
And I was doing that, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, and I think he felt bad about it, and he was like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna just pay me this, just set the appointment and just pay me that." And I was like, "Oh, all right, man." Like he didn't expect the tip.
Which one was this? The older or the younger?
The older.
Okay.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the older one, not the younger one. And I was like, I think he felt bad just that I waited like 2 hours, you know.
Our barber takes a while.
Well, it's quality, it's not though. That he takes his time on it for a good haircut, but there's also usually a line. Except the last couple of times I've been there, even on a Friday at like 11, I walked right in, dude. It's just hit and miss.
I've been doing a super cuts, man.
Yeah, you know, they're not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
It doesn't look bad, man. I mean,
I just don't like. I don't feel good about myself because the other day somebody asked me. I just said, "Oh, I need a haircut this weekend." Somebody said, "Who's your barber?" And I was like, I told him my actual barber. And I wasn't about to say supercuts. There's just a stigma to it, man. You just don't want to get your hair cut.
Yeah, there is a stigma.
Supercuts. And I don't know if it's a made up stigma by the barber
industry. It is the barber industry that's making up the stigma. It's because it's like the Walmart killing the mom pa shop.
At Kmart.
Oh, I used to do that when I was a kid.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah, right next to the video rental store.
I would go there right after, all itchy.
Yeah, man, that place was pretty cool. And right next to that is where I got my photos for my communion. My first communion photos were right there.
So we made it long enough into this podcast that if you're still listening, you're a real one. Let's just break it down. Well, let's just have a freestyle. Anything you want to talk about, go for it.
Again, I don't know how long this thing is gonna last with me. You're doing better.
You
keep on saying doing better like I was doing bad.
You were.
I wasn't doing bad. I was just being me, man. You're gonna judge me for being me.
No, because this is you being you too.
Maybe you're the bad one.
But you're not being new. You're not being you right now.
I am being me.
So you're still being you then.
Yeah, I'm still being me.
So you're fine.
But you're saying that I'm doing better as if there was a lesser degree of me. A different, who are you, Mr. Man, to be judging on how people are,
He's just doing better.
Fucking, what I'm trying to say is, trying to take a new taking it easy on the rest of the world.
What spawned this?
Nothing spawned it. My drive here. My drive here spawned it, Chuy.
So it's like
or a culmination of 28 years just leading up to this moment. Who knows what led to it, Chuy? It could have been, me, like, this could have been, something in my childhood where it was my rosebud, the kid with the sled and, which movie I'm talking about? Oh, the movie starts with the old man dying. He says, and he has he has a fucking snow globe in his head, and he's in his hand. And
the
he's
movie about the midget and was a baseball player?
No. I'm talking about one of the movies loosely based on Hearst, William Hearst, and he says Rosebud, and then they look around, and then it shows him as a young
Simon
boy.
Birch.
No. God damn it! What is the name of the movie? It's one of the biggest movies of all time. Just look up Rosebud or William Hearst movie, even though it's not William Hearst, but it's based on William Hearst. Anyways, it's just this
My Girl,
tyrannical millionaire that Rosebud was just.
Can we just say that My Girl was the best Macaulay Culkin movie ever?
I thought we said Pagemaster was last podcast.
And then we'll put My Girl after that.
What about the one with Elijah Wood, man? Where he's a creep.
My Girl had a creep?
The Good Kid or something like that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, you never saw that one?
No.
Oh, man. The one where he's holding young Elijah Wood's hands on the treehouse, and he's like, do you think you could fly? And he's like holding onto his hand, and he's about to drop him.
Dude.
Oh, man, that movie's intense, dude.
A lot of those movies back then used to scar children. They kind of seem to stop that. Simon Birch scarred me as a kid.
Why did Simon Birch scar you as a kid?
That mom.
Well, yeah. I mean, what, you weren't emotionally capable to process it at the time?
I don't think so.
I mean, he didn't mean to kill the mom.
My Girl?
And it wasn't his mom.
Kid dies?
Well, actually, his mom did die during childbirth, I think. But you're talking about the mom at the baseball game, right?
The hot
his friend's mom.
Yeah, the hot mom who he wanted to impress by swinging hard.
Sadder
is that he died after the movie.
Yeah. And he was, I think, a lot older than he was playing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just like the Grinch, where the midget also dies. The little person. The baby Grinch. He died after the movie.
Again, I know it's not politically correct. I just feel like midget is a better term than little person. I feel like little person has a connotation as you're less of a person than a regular person. And midget sounds like a technical term that some people just took negative connotations for, and like let's not let technical terms turn into negative connotations that make us police our words. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a technical term and creating softer terms that are almost more condescending. Little person. I'm just saying that's my spiel at the end.
And let's just leave it. Let's leave it at that.
But again, I may be wrong.
Until next time. Goodbye.